Welcome, friends, to this deeply moving tribute to one of the most extraordinary voices in jazz history, Dame Cleo Laine. If you're tuning in, perhaps you've heard her scat singing that could dance across 4 octaves, or maybe you felt the warmth of her husky contralto wrapping around a classic like You'll Answer to Me. Today, we're taking a heartfelt journey through her life, her biography, family, lifestyle, net worth, and the sorrowful details of her passing. This isn't just a recounting of facts, it's a celebration of a woman who broke barriers, blended genres, and touched souls with her music and spirit. Cleo was a force, a British icon who conquered stages from London's West End to New York's Carnegie Hall, all while staying true to her roots. So, let's settle in for this emotional ride, maybe with a cup of tea or your favorite jazz record playing softly, and honor the queen of jazz whose legacy feels as timeless as her voice. It's going to tug at your heartstrings, reminding us how music can bridge worlds and heal hearts. Let's begin with the end, as that's often what draws us here, the poignant news of Cleo Laine's death, a loss that echoes through the jazz world like a fading note from her beloved scat solos. On July 24, 2025, Cleo passed away peacefully at her home in Revered, England, at the age of 97. Her family shared that she departed serenely in the afternoon, with no specific cause of death detailed beyond the natural culmination of a long, vibrant life filled with song and stage. It was a gentle exit for someone whose voice had roared with passion for nearly 8 decades, leaving fans and fellow musicians in quiet reflection. Tributes flooded in from around the globe, with her children noting how her unique talent would always be remembered, even as they asked for space to grieve. Imagine the weight of that moment, losing a dame whose scat could mimic a trumpet or whisper like a lover's secret, a woman who performed into her 90s and inspired generations. It's profoundly emotional. Cleo wasn't just a singer, she was a trailblazer who made jazz her own, and her passing feels like the dimming of a spotlight that illuminated so many lives. But as we mourn, let's immerse ourselves in the full story of her remarkable journey, drawing out the details that made her shine so brightly. Born Clementina Dinah Campbell on October 28, 1927, in Southall, Middlesex, England, Cleo grew up in a modest home shaped by her Jamaican father, Alexander Sylvan Campbell, a World War I veteran and building laborer who buskied on the streets, and her English mother, Minnie Hitching, a farmer's daughter from Swindon who was disowned for her interracial marriage. Their union was a testament to love defying odds, and young Cleo, often called Clementine, faced the challenges of a mixed-race childhood in a working-class neighborhood, moving frequently but always surrounded by music from her father's opera leanings and her brother's jazz records. Her mother insisted on singing and dancing lessons from an early age, spotting Cleo's potential despite their financial struggles, and Cleo attended Featherstone Road Board School before moving to Mellow Lane Senior School in Hayes. By 14, she left school for jobs like apprentice hairdresser, hat trimmer, librarian, and pawnbroker's assistant, all while dreaming of the stage inspired by stars like Judy Garland and Ethel Waters. At 18, she married Ruth Tyler George Langridge, becoming a young mother to son Stuart, but the marriage dissolved in 1957 as her passion for singing pulled her toward a different path. It wasn't until her mid-20s that Cleo truly embraced her calling, auditioning in 1951 for saxophonist John Dankworth's band, landing the gig that changed everything, adopting the stage name Cleo Laine, and eventually marrying him in 1958. Those early years were tough, filled with rejections due to her unique, smoky voice that didn't fit the mold, but they forged her resilience, turning a Southall girl into a global sensation whose story inspires us to chase our dreams no matter the obstacles. Cleo's career blossomed in the 1950s with Dankworth's band, where her scat singing and versatile style, blending jazz, pop, and blues, earned her acclaim as England's finest jazz vocalist. By 1958, she was hailed as the best European jazz singer, her husky contralto standing out in a sea of lighter voices. She expanded into acting that same year with Flesh to a Tiger, a play set in Jamaica, leading to roles in West End productions like Valmouth in 1959 and A Time to Laugh in 1962, and even appearing on BBC's satirical That Was the Week That Was. Her 1961 hit You'll Answer to Me cracked the UK Top 10, a pop crossover that showcased her 4-octave range. Collaborating with Dankworth, she released acclaimed albums like Shakespeare and All That Jazz in 1964, merging poetry with melody. The 1970s brought international fame, founding the Stables Theatre in their Wavendon Homes Old Stables in 1970, which grew to host over 350 concerts yearly. Her U.S. breakthrough came with a 1972 Lincoln Center concert, followed by Carnegie Hall debuts in 1973, coast-to-coast tours, and TV spots like The Muppet Show in 1977. Albums poured out, earning her a 1983 Grammy for her live Carnegie recording, and she became the only woman nominated for Grammys in jazz, pop, and classical categories. Cleo collaborated with legends like Ray Charles on Porgy and Bess, Mel Torme, and even tackled Arnold Schoenberg's Pierrot Lunaire. On Broadway, she starred in A Little Night Music, The Merry Widow, and originated Princess Puffer in The Mystery of Edwin Drood in 1985, earning a Tony nomination. She played God in Benjamin Britten's opera, sang Kurt Weill and Stephen Sondheim, and performed into her 90s, including a 2018 UK show. Knighted as Dame in 1997, Cleo's career was a symphony of versatility, proving jazz could transcend boundaries and touch every heart. At the core of Cleo's world was her family, a tapestry of love and music that grounded her through fame's highs and lows, and it's these personal bonds that make her story so emotionally resonant. Her marriage to John Dankworth lasted over 50 years until his death in 2010 at 82, a partnership not just romantic but artistic. They performed together worldwide, founded the Stables, and shared a home where mornings involved brain teasers over oatmeal and grapefruit, keeping their minds sharp into their 80s. John gave her the stage name Cleo and believed in her unique voice when others didn't, creating a bond she once described as being joined at the hip. From her first marriage, she had son Stuart, and with John, they raised bassist Alec Dankworth and singer Jackie Dankworth, both following in their parents' musical footsteps. Cleo's interracial heritage, Jamaican father and English mother, shaped her resilience, with her mother fiercely protecting her from prejudice. Family life revolved around their Wavendon estate, where the Stables became a hub for gatherings, concerts, and education, blending home and career seamlessly. After John's passing, Cleo continued performing, drawing strength from her children, who announced her death with heartfelt words about missing her terribly. It's touching to imagine their holidays filled with music, laughter, and stories from global tours, or Cleo mentoring her kids in the arts, a legacy of warmth that outshines any accolade, reminding us how family fueled her enduring spirit. Cleo's lifestyle was a beautiful blend of elegance, creativity, and quiet dedication, far from flashy excess, which makes her story all the more inspiring and emotional. Rooted in her Wavendon home, a stately Buckinghamshire estate she shared with John, she embraced a life of artistic pursuit, founding the Stables in 1970 as a non-profit for music education, where she lectured and taught voice, giving back to young talents. Even in her 70s and 80s, she toured globally, from Australia to New Zealand, admitting she was slowing down a little but staying fully booked, her days filled with rehearsals, performances, and simple routines like morning brain games. Influenced by her humble beginnings, Cleo lived modestly yet vibrantly, enjoying collaborations with icons like Ella Fitzgerald and Ray Charles, and finding joy in diverse projects from poetry albums to opera. She wasn't one for ostentation. Her wealth went into the Stables and family, with a focus on health and creativity. Think of her sipping tea in the English countryside, composing or reflecting on a career that spanned dance halls to royal halls. This balanced existence, marked by resilience after early struggles and widowhood, showed how she navigated fame with grace, always prioritizing passion over pomp, a lifestyle that feels like a warm embrace in an often chaotic world. And speaking of her net worth, it reflects a lifetime of artistic achievement, though Cleo measured success in impact rather than dollars, adding an emotional layer to her legacy. Estimates around 2019 placed her net worth between $100,000 and $1 million, built from decades of albums, tours, Grammys, and theatrical roles, with ongoing royalties from hits and collaborations. By her passing, assets tied to the Stables and her estate were valued modestly, with current net worth around $5,000 after liabilities, underscoring her focus on legacy over luxury. This wasn't about extravagance, her earnings supported music education and family, proving true wealth lies in the heart she touched through her voice. As we close this tribute, emotions swirl thinking of Cleo Laine's incredible path. From a Southall girl with big dreams to a dame whose voice conquered the world, leaving us at 97 on July 24, 2025, in peaceful repose. We've explored her biography of triumphs over adversity, her loving family that harmonized with her art, her grounded lifestyle of creativity and giving, and a net worth that pales next to her cultural riches. Cleo taught us that music is emotion, connection, and boundless possibility. Thank you for joining me in remembering this jazz queen. If this moved you, please like and subscribe for more heartfelt stories. Until next time, let her scat echo in your soul.